Welcome to Fearless Females, where ambition meets resilience. Meet your guide, Lorie Jones, owner of Fearless Financial Advisors. Join her and remarkable women executives as they uncover the triumphs and transformative moments shaping extraordinary careers. Ready to be fearless? Let the journey begin.
So many of you know that I've been in finance for about 15 years now, and I have seen some things. As an insider in this industry, I've seen some of the best and worst from financial advisors. And I wanted to share the top 6 things that I've seen that I would absolutely want to look for in a financial advisor or a relationship, a trusted advisory relationship. So the first thing is, I'm going to date myself here, but so many years ago, when cell phones were even those flip phones, my kids don't even remember that. Some of them have never seen any sort of flip device, and they think it's like the dark ages. But when you had those flip phones and cell phones were just coming out, there was this Sprint commercial. I think it was Sprint. The guy walked around and he had the phone to his ear and he said, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" And he would like walk 10 feet and say that again. And it always just makes me laugh because he was checking the coverage of the carrier that he was advertising for. But as a financial advisor, it kind of makes me think, when you call your financial advisor and you've got a question, or you've heard some new thing, or you've had a terrible situation, a job loss, or maybe something really exciting, you're getting married. And so you reach out and you call your financial advisor, and then you wait and you wait and you wait some more. And maybe a week goes by, and maybe a month goes by, and then they get back to you and you forgot why you called in the first place. And you feel like you're shouting into the void. "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is anyone there? Can you hear me now?" Sometimes it feels like they don't even remember your name or know who you are. And that's actually not unheard of. Because a lot of times financial advisors will try to take on books that are 200 or 300 clients big. A lot of them at the big firms like a Fidelity or a Schwab or something like that, they work with sometimes 300 client relationships. And so you do have to reach out to them every single time. And sometimes you don't hear back from them. At Fearless Financial Advisors, you are not just a number. You don't ever have to feel like you're shouting into the void. "Can you hear me now?" We work with men and women who are building, rebuilding, fully owning their financial future. And you guys don't have time for this runaround, for this waiting for weeks or longer to get back, or forgetting that you even had a question. When you work with us, you're a VIP. We know your name. We know your story. We probably know your dog's name. There's a good chance that I've asked what your favorite snack or your favorite color is. I want to develop that trusted relationship with you. That's important to me, and it should be important to you. So the second thing that I've seen over the years as I've talked with clients is investing people in things they don't need. So some investors will kind of throw around complex investment strategies or these alternative investments, or sometimes it feels like they're designed for like billionaires, where you've got like a family office and a private jet, and you're just going to, jet off into the sunset, and you're deciding whether to buy a yacht or an airplane next year. And that's how some advisors will treat you. I had one client who came to me, and he had about 90% of what he had saved for retirement in a REIT. And a REIT, if you don't understand, it's called a real estate investment trust, but it's a long-term investment, which is illiquid, meaning that you can't really get the money back out again. You have to leave it in there for several years, and it's it's riskier. And typically when you're selling these REITs, and I'm not saying there's not a place for them in the investment world, I'm just saying that when you're selling them, you typically think, well, this is probably about, a 5 to 10% bite off of their total investment portfolio. They can afford, if they need cash, they've got somewhere else they can go. This is not the investment you want to put all of your grandpa's retirement into. And that is what had happened. He had nothing that he could pull money out of to meet his everyday retirement needs. All he had was this investment that was not ready. It was not appropriate for him. And I think that happens more often than you might imagine, where that's not to say that these different investments, I'm not going to tell you they're bad. They're not. They're appropriate in some cases. But I think it's really important that you ask the question, is this investment appropriate for me? Or is it appropriate for Daddy Warbucks over there who's got his own airplane? And I think that if you don't understand what your financial advisor is trying to sell you and you don't know why you should be buying that, and I'll tell you another little thing. You should probably ask how much they're making on it, because a lot of these investments, a financial advisor makes quite a bit more if they sell you this investment. And so they have a reason to try and sell you these things. Fearless Financial Advisors, we give you smart, tailored strategies for the person who is just trying to pay for college, maybe buy a great vacation home one day, and just retire well, not manage your offshore holdings. So think clarity over complexity, real goals, real plans, zero overwhelm. Number 3 has absolutely nothing to do with quality credentials or anything like that. It's just, I hate phone trees. I hate getting stuck in phone trees. You know the drill, plus 3 to talk to somebody who won't call you back. At other firms, a lot of times you're just an account number or a sea of spreadsheets. I know that a lot of those big firms, you have to, I know because I call them on the back end and I have to dial 3 and dial 1 and talk to 9. And then they've gotten this really awful thing where they don't even let you talk to a real person. They're like, go to our website. They don't even give you a telephone number to call. I hate it. So at Fearless Financial Advisors, we lead with kindness, connection, and real conversations. We believe in picking up our phone and answering it. If you get a voicemail, go ahead and leave one. We will get back with you. We check all of our messages. You'll either talk to me or Bailey, and we get back to you. We treat you like a friend first. We know who you are. We want to hear about you. We want to be that call that you make. So we pick up our phone. We're a financial advisor with BFF energy. Number 4 is something that I see quite a lot. When you sit down with a financial advisor, you kind of expect that financial advisor is going to be the one that handles your stuff. That if you sit down with Lorie, that when you have your reviews or when you talk to someone and they give you advice, that's going to be Lorie that's doing it. And a lot of times you'll get brought in by a CFP, certified financial planner, or someone with experience and credentials, but you'll actually get passed off to somebody else to take care of your account, somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of training, knowledge, or understanding of the industry. And this drives me crazy. I spend a lot of time, as you probably know, anyone that knows me knows that I spend a lot of time training and helping younger advisors to become financial planners. I spend hours in meetings with them to let them watch how I do it and and get the experience that they need. And then I flat out encourage getting your CFP credentials, asking questions, going to conferences, understanding what's happening. And I'm not going to say that I don't pass off clients to a younger advisor, because I firmly believe that's the only way that they get that experience and that growth. But I will never pass off to somebody else without, one, first getting the client's agreement that they're okay going with that other person, and two, making sure that that other person has all of the same knowledge and credentials that I do. They are trained to be an extension of me. And when you hear them, you're going to get the same or better ideas than I would give you. But I don't like passing you off to someone and just having you find out later that, hey, oh, I thought I was signing up with Lorie, but actually I'm only meeting with Sally or Joe. And I don't know what their credentials are. I don't know that they know my story. I don't know that they understand what I'm trying to do with my financial plan. So I don't love that. I would say that if you're not going to choose me, I always tell potential clients, if you don't choose me, please look for somebody with a certified financial planner designation, because they have credentials and CE, continuing education, that they have to get. I feel like they've got a base set of knowledge and understanding. I will tell you that I have at one point talked to a financial advisor who didn't understand the difference between a Roth conversion and a Roth contribution, and I was appalled. I was, quite frankly, upset that they were taking care of clients. So this is something that I feel really strongly about, that I think that if you're trusting someone with your life savings, it should be somebody that you know, that knows you, and that has the understanding and experience to help you out with that. Number 5 is something that happens so often. You get a transition, you get a major life event, a divorce. Sometimes you lose somebody unexpectedly, an illness. What happens if it's a great event? You get a new baby or an inheritance, which is both good and bad, or you just have some major thing happening in your life, and you want someone, when that event happens, you want to talk to somebody who knows you, who can talk to you and say, hey, yeah, we planned for this, or hey, this is where we can adjust to this new life transition. I have been the second call. I always say you can call your family first, but I always want to be the second call that you make when something big happens in your life, because I want to know about it, because I want to hear the good and the bad, and I want to be the one that talks to you when you lose a job unexpectedly, or you're just worried about what the economy is doing and you just want to chat to someone who listens to the news and the talking heads and all of that sort of thing. Or you want to share that you got a new grandbaby and hey, how do you set up a 529? Or what if you lost a loved one, a spouse, and your whole retirement picture has changed? I want to be the person that you talk to. At Fearless Financial Advisors, we guide you through life's biggest and sometimes messiest moments. So whether you're celebrating or grieving or just totally overwhelmed, I want to be the call that you make. We can walk you through all of life's sticky bits. Number 6 is my favorite. Have you ever sat through a meeting nodding like this or smiling and being like, I'm going to Google this all later so I understand what they're telling me. And I think we've all been there at some point or another. I know that when I started in this industry so many years ago, I didn't know what they were talking about. There was a lot of new information, a lot of things to learn. And I hadn't been taught finance growing up. My dad knew it. He understood about investing in stocks, but he didn't teach me how to do that. And so I was a little lost when I first started out. And I find that a lot of clients are too. Even if, and I don't want to make this sound bad, because the fact is that I have been doing classes and taking certifications and doing tests and everything like that for probably 10 years now. And there's still stuff that is complex and complicated. You know, when you talk about CD swaps or something like that, you get into these really complex sort of investment structures that you feel like you need an MBA for. At Fearless Financial Advisors, we break all of these things down into human language. We explain these really complex concepts in really simple ways to understand, because the thing is we're not trying to talk over your head. We don't want you to misunderstand and just trust that things will be okay. I want you to understand what's going on in your financial life. I want you to have at least a knowledge of why I'm recommending what I'm recommending for you. My kids say that I can explain anything, including compound interest, using snacks, and they are not wrong. I will try and break it down into the easiest, simplest way to understand a concept. So I've also found that a lot of times that people feel more comfortable asking me questions because I don't try and talk over their heads and make it more complicated. And I will freely admit, if I don't understand something, I will tell you. And I will say, I don't understand that, but I will figure out the answer for you. I've spent, like I said, 10 years now taking tests. So there's very little that I don't at least have a passing knowledge with. But if I run into that thing, I absolutely will get an expert in that field to give you advice there, because I don't want to make it more complicated or harder for you to understand. I want to make it easy. I want to put you in control of your financial future. You're going to leave smarter, not more confused. So 6 of the things that I think are some of the most important when talking and deciding who to work with as a financial advisor. 1, Fearless Financial is there to answer your questions so you don't feel like you're shouting into the void, trying to get someone to listen to you, trying to get someone to call you back. We are there to help you out with that. 2, Fearless Financial does not try and sell you products that aren't appropriate for you. We are not trying to sell you something that you don't need. We listen to your story and we're going to help you reach your goals. 3, we hate the phone tree. This is just, we don't like it. Leave us a message. We'll call you back. There is only one department at Fearless Financial Advisors, and that is your department. We know you. We want to help you. We'll call you back. 4, we're certified and credentialed. We don't pass your financial well-being to a junior advisor who has no idea what they're doing, no experience, or no clue. 5, we want to be there when the plot twists in your life happen. We want to know about it. We want to be your second call to either sympathize or celebrate with you when life catches you by surprise. And 6, Fearless Financial wants to help you understand and answer your questions. We know you don't want to do it alone, and that's why we're here to help you along the path. But we want to help you take control of your financial future, and that means understanding it. So give us a call at Fearless Financial if this sounds like something you'd be interested in learning just a little bit more about. We're like your financial BFF.